Opening up the debate this evening with Meghnad Desai, Aarti Jairath. Joining us, Ajoy Bose, Seshadri Chari and GVL Narasimha Rao in the studio. Opening up the debate with Jayanti Natarajan as well of the Congress Party. Jayanti Natarajan, all this hypocritical talk of realignment after losing the elections. You know, the fact is that today it's become an unipolar world. And at least for a while, even you will admit that all this realignment amounts to nothing. I mean, this talk of a secular bloc, secular parties having to come together, it hasn't worked. It has failed abysmally. Your party is in tatters. You are staring down a barrel. And isn't it more important for parties like the Congress Party to talk about changing your leadership at the top than to be even thinking about all secular parties coming together, which has become a refrain over the last few days? Ms. Jayanti Natarajan, I'd like to open up the debate with your views.
Well, that's not a double-barreled gun. That's machine gun fire, Arnab, from you. I thought with the elections that you would have actually become what is the word I should
calmer,
use?
Calmer.
Maybe
calmer.
I should
Okay.
maybe calm. Maybe I should
Yes.
first congratulate you on your spectacular election coverage.
Thank you very
high
much.
octane.
Thank you.
But I just want to say straight away that I would like to wholeheartedly congratulate the new government, the new Prime Minister who's won, Mr. Modi, who's won a decisive mandate, and I hope that he fulfills all the aspirations of the people who voted for him and for those who didn't, just like he said. I don't agree with the way you framed this debate, Arnab, for this reason that there is, first of all, the Congress Party is not in tatters. We have been around a long time.
With 44 seats, you're not in tatters?
Arnab, we have been decisively, roundly, spectacularly defeated in this Lok Sabha. I agree. But tatters is not the word. You know, defeat, and you know the famous saying, the two imposters, triumph and defeat the two imposters.
I'm glad you're philosophical tonight, but this is time for straight political talk. No, let's not be philosophical, Ms. Natarajan.
Straight political
talk expected from a politician, please.
Is that we are not in tatters. We've won and lost many elections. In the last 10 years, we've won, the Congress has won 21 assembly elections, 2 terms. We've lost this term. We've lost this election. And there is no two ways that we need to seriously introspect. But tatters and to write our obituary.
Fine, ma'am, you and I can argue on the semantics of it. But that's not the point.
Right,
you and I can keep arguing tonight about the semantics of it the Sunday evening. My question is, on what right does the Congress Party have to even, think in terms of a secular realignment right now? There should be no thought about it.
The same right that the BJP, which started at, when I started as a member of parliament, had 2 MPs in parliament. And is now at this spectacular figure. Wait a minute.
No, there are 2 BJP representatives who want to take you on that. I thought I'll open it up. Okay, you finish your point.
No, but let me complete what I'm saying. When we've been defeated, when other parties have been defeated, to say that we want to come together to make a secular front is not opportunistic in any way at all. It's by no means steamrolling anybody who's won a spectacular victory. I think the politics of keeping our views afloat and keeping our parties, keeping our party's ideology alive is something very legitimate politically.
No, then admit it. It's not your ideology you're keeping alive. You're keeping your political interests alive.
It is ideology. We are not.
Where was this ideology 2 months back? Why were you all fighting elections separately? Why didn't you form one bloc like it was formed against the Congress Party by the BLD in 1977?
Secular ideology is one aspect. Perhaps we were not fighting elections because we couldn't agree on seats. Perhaps we were not fighting elections together because we wanted to see our own strength like we did in Tamil Nadu. See what has happened in this state. You're talking about Bihar. See what has happened in my state. The party that Mr. Modi led to spectacular victory is nowhere in Tamil Nadu. It's Jayalalitha all the way.
No, but so
it's not a question of ideology.
Okay, now let me just tell you one thing, ma'am. I just want to put a sense of perspective on this. The idea of representing a country comes in when you have some kind of a vote share behind you. In 1957, independent candidates in India had 19% of the vote. Today, the Congress party has 19% of the vote. And yet you say tonight, Jayanti Natarajan, that coming together as a secular bloc, there is nothing wrong with the idea. I'm opening up the debate. There are two BJP representatives. I promise to give you equal time. And opening up the debate from the BJP side is GVL Narasimha Rao, and then I'm coming to you, Mr. Chari. Mr. Rao.
It is the very same cynical secular bogey which has been roundly defeated in this election. It's not that secularism was not being brought up as a major campaign issue by the Congress. In fact, that was the only point on which they fought this election. They never talked about...
But they fought separately. Now they're saying we're going to come together and take you on.
But that's not going to make any difference. And if Nitish Kumar...
Nitish and Lalu are talking.
Nitish Kumar, who always had condescending attitude towards Lalu Prasad Yadav, is today working the hotlines to somehow sort of put up a fight against the BJP.
Is he doing something illegitimate?
No, I think he has fallen in his own eyes. Nitish Kumar must be looking at himself as a man who has wronged himself. How can he go back to Lalu Prasad Yadav, whom he has been criticizing all this while?
Now, Jayanti Natarajan, I heard you, so I'll take two at a time, and then I'm going to come back to you. But Ajay Bose opening up this.
I don't know about ideology, but are we trying to suspend democracy here? Are we trying to say that no political party has the right to get together for its own survival and fight back? What are we trying to say? What are we trying to say?
Exactly.
In 84, please go back to 84. Rajiv Gandhi and the Congress won this brute 400 plus majority. Even Atal Bihari Vajpayee got knocked out of parliament. What did the opposition do? It was, in the beginning, it was totally stunned. Then it tried to get together. Then it tried to rally together. People who did never talk to each other. And finally, Mr. Devilal cobbled together Janata Dal. This happens in politics when a big enemy comes. A lot of people who were quarreling before get together to face a common enemy.
And the big enemy today is the big enemy is the
BJP and Mr. Modi, who's larger than life. And please, Arnav,
but the elections are over.
Go back 30 years ago.
The BJP response has been that this is an attempt to deceive the people.
But this is very legitimate politics. I don't know about all this secular or non-secular, all this, but this is political survival.
One minute.
I think this whole secular bogey, really needs to now be killed. I think that this secular versus communal, sort of thing, debate that the Congress and other parties keep trying to raise, that has been roundly defeated, settled in these elections. You look at the UP results. If even the Muslims were not scared by that debate, otherwise there would have been a consolidation and anti-BJP vote. But it didn't happen. The Muslim vote scattered. I mean, clearly, this fear politics that Congress and Samajwadi Party and BSP were trying to do with Muslims did not work with the Muslim community.
No, so why
if you want to form an anti-Modi front, I think that's perfectly legitimate. But they have to come up with a different issue.
You see this happening now, this
anti-Modi front. Yes, and they have to come up with a different issue.
You see this anti-Modi front coming up?
Yes, I think they will. I think they will, because Modi is very big, he's very strong. For their own survival, they have to get together. There has to be some kind of realignment. But I'm afraid they will have to find some other issue. Secular is not the issue.
Okay, I'm going to go to Seshadri Chari next. Jayanti Natarajan, I'm coming to you with just one pointer. At this point of time, some would argue if the Congress party wants to survive, and my word is survive, then it must say that we want to create a survival front, not a secular front. And then say this survival front is the non-BJP front. Drop the argument of secularism and say we'll form a survival front, because when you have been reduced to a meager, and I don't want to rub it in, 7 seats out of 251 in the Hindi heartland. Today, the Congress party has 7 seats out of 251 in the Hindi heartland. You must be honest, Mr. Natarajan. You want to survive.
It's
a survival front.
The question. Now, first of all, There's nothing wrong with wanting to survive. That's a different issue.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong. I'm saying more candor about it.
Please let me just complete. Please let me just complete. So many, I think it was Aarti, before that Mr. Narasimhan, I don't know who else spoke, but the fact is,
Seshadri Chari will come in after you.
Mr. Modi, I reiterate, has won fair and square. That doesn't mean the idea of secularism is over. Perhaps minorities did not vote for us. So many people did not vote for us. Our views did not carry conviction. His message carried conviction. Well done for him. We have to, but that doesn't mean that secularism is a dirty word or that it has been defeated.
I didn't say it's a dirty word. I'm saying is it an appropriate word?
Secularism.
No, I'm saying is it an appropriate word? You call it a survival front.
What it means, Ornab, what it means is that people want, at least we stand, as the Congress Party President said, by our core values, and we will continue to stand by it. People want, therefore, further development. They want something more aspirational. They want something what my party was not able to give them. And there we failed. And now we have to see where we failed and how we failed. But please let's be smug, pat ourselves on the back and say, oh, secularism is over, because that goes against the idea of India.
I am only asking, Ms. Natarajan, whether you must consider that the people of this country will ask you today whether you have a right to be asking that question after the drubbing that you have got.
Please let the BJP not, Mr. Narasimhan mentioned, please let the BJP not talk about this, because if you remember, the VP Singh's government was supported by the communists on one side and the BJP on the other. It was the most bizarre, support given by two diametrically opposite people. So in politics, these things have happened before. Right now, if these parties extend a hand of support and call it, yes, we are supporting you because you're a secular party.
But Miss Natarajan, may I once again just humbly reassert to you that the issue is about whether you call it a secular front or a survival front. Before Seshadri Chari comes in, I want our viewers to look at this particular quote of Sharad Yadav. Now, Sharad Yadav has been with all possible alliances. And Sharad Yadav is so utterly sanctimonious that he genuinely believes that trying to come together will be linked to the nation's progress. So this is what Sharad Yadav says. This is one of the most spectacular quotes of the day. He said secular government will be formed. I don't know what his mathematics are. All differences will have no relevance. I had actually heard, and the buzz is the man most desperate to be part of the BJP and the man who actually opposed the JDU-BJP breakup is Mr. Sharad Yadav, and now he rings that secular language because it suits him. What Mr. Sharad Yadav wants is a place in parliament and possibly a ministry, which he feels he will not get, that he's not with the JDU. But look at what he says. He says all differences will have no relevance when it comes to the country's progress. Country's progress? That's the question. You're linking it to the country's progress. Why don't politicians like Sharad Yadav say, we want to survive, we want a position, we want a ministry, we want a stake, but to argue on the basis of the country's progress is farcical. May I, before I come to you, let Seshadri Chari take on Jayanti Natarajan, because he's been waiting his turn to do so, and after that, Meghnad Desai, I'm coming right across to you. Seshadri Chari, please.
Before, taking on and all that is a very strong word you have used, sir, now.
Respond.
I must really, one very good fallout of this election has been that Madam Jayanti Natarajan, who was out of the TV circuit for a long time because she became a minister, is now back in the TV rooms for our discussion. I welcome her, and I hope...
She's actually smiling back.
I hope she has a very large role to play in her own state. I hope the Congress party allows her to do that. But now coming to the point that she mentioned, she is very right when she says that every party has a right to exist, cobble up some sort of a platform, and then be relevant in the parliament.
Right.
But what is more important here is the basis on which these parties are wanting to come together. It would be very good if they look at the figures. the BJP has 31% votes.
Okay, I'll put that up
And
outside.
All other parties except the Congress, if you remove the BJP and the Congress, the rest of the parties all come up to 49%.
Okay, I'll put up some of these graphics on the big screen behind for our viewers.
Now to say that out of 85% of the Hindu population in this country, all those who have voted for BJP are all Hindutva fundamentalist communal elements, and the rest of the 15% are all secular. And if you think that the Congress represents the 19.3% of the vote that the Congress has got is for secularism, but that was not the issue with which you went to the people in the first place, number one. Number two, even if you are wanting to cobble up a kind of... Even if you are trying to cobble up a kind of...
By the way, this is the vote share.
Can you really withstand that kind of a situation?
Okay. So the vote share figures that you are talking about are like this. Jayanti Natarajan, on the basis of vote share, an argument thrown back at you by Seshadri Chari. 31, 1.9, 0.7, 2.5, 0.3, 0.4. NDA gets 38.1%. They claim that on the basis of this percentage vote share, your argument for an alternative front itself does not hold. Ms. Natarajan, your quick response to Seshadri Chari. Ms. Natarajan, you can respond to him now.
You're not going to believe this or no, but I actually agree with Mr. Chari. I mean, clearly a lot more people voted for them than we expected would.
Yes.
And I've said from the beginning that the secular idea was, as he said, as Mr. Chari said, was not the only idea that we talked about. It was one of our core ideas, but we did and probably did not take it properly to the people. The issue of whatever achievements and development that we had made during the 10 years of the UPA regime. I also want to say at this point that the working committee of my party is going to meet tomorrow, and stock taking is yet to take place at the highest level of the leadership. So it's far too early to say that we are cobbling up anything, nor am I authorized to say any such thing. I'm only talking here on the limited basis of what is happening in Bihar.
Point, do you concede?
What are we cobbling up? What are we not cobbling up?
Do you concede the broader point that such a group in a post-election, post-result situation lacks any legitimacy among the people, Mr. Chari?
The most important element here is nobody...
I totally agree that there is a legitimacy which the mandate has shown. How can anybody deny it? How can anybody deny it? It's up to
No, Jayanti, please. I don't really want to limit this entire argument only on the basis of some parties coming together. Actually, Congress is just being drawn into this. I am prepared to believe what is happening is the whole thing has been started by the JDU, by Nitish Kumar, who wanted to save probably his own face and his own government, and he resigned. And I don't understand why the Congress is being pulled into this. Congress and BJP
don't want the Congress into this.
I am nobody to say that the Congress should not jump into this. But even if the Congress wants to jump into this, let the Congress say that we need a forum in Parliament to keep a check on the government. We can agree. We can also say that whether the path of progress that you take up is correct or not. If you go wrong in that path, we will come and stop it. But I think this is for the first time that Congress party has an opportunity to work with the government on a purely quote-unquote secular issue. Progress, democracy, development, these are all not communal issues. We are not talking of democracy only for the Hindu population in this country.
We'll join Gaurav Bhatia now into this.
You have to come and face the situation.
We'll join Gaurav Bhatia into this, because after all, the Samajwadi Party has gone rightfully into a shell after its defeat. The party wins 5 seats, Gaurav Bhatia, and I'm not rubbing this in, but all 5 are from the Yadav family. After having opposed Mr. Narendra Modi on the subject of communalism and failed miserably, today the BJP says to the Congress party, dissociate yourself from the smaller state-level parties. Dissociate yourself from the non-BJP parties' argument. The BJP says to the Congress party that all these smaller parties, I presume they include the Mulayam Singh Yadav also, that the smaller parties want to draw you into the secular versus communal argument simply because they want to survive. The BJP says to the Congress, don't get used. Gaurav Bhatia, are you simply trying to create a sort of an anti-BJP ambiance as a survival tactic? Your response to the two BJP representatives who are in the studio this evening.
Yeah, Arnab, first of all, let me clarify on behalf of my party that we have not got into any shell and we are not running away from the media. In fact, I had also appeared on your program and we conveyed our comments on the very day when the results were out. But I think this is a very important time for many parties, because even the Samajwadi Party would like to introspect. We would like to know the reasons why we could not get the kind of numbers that we were expecting. And therefore, it is more important that we have our organizational meetings than just be on the media. Having said that, I would say, I heard certain panelists saying that the secular word should not be used, it is irrelevant.
Yes.
As other panelists also said, secularism is nothing negative. It's nothing that should not be used. In fact, it is a very positive word. It has been there in the constitution and everybody should abide by that word. Now the future very soon would tell us, depending on the communal politics that the BJP would do.
Only misusing
can I just take my point?
The garb of secularism. People have rejected
I don't know
you
which panelist is interrupting me now. Please ask the panelist to wait for his turn, I request. Mr. Narasimhan Rao, I think you can wait for your turn. Please. I think within a few months we will realize if the BJP has its communal agenda on its hand, then definitely our party would be at the forefront fighting the communal agenda of the BJP. And I would also like to say, Arna, please understand, this coalition politics has existed. Look at what BJP did. Parties like LJP got 0.4% vote all India level, but they got 6 seats. We, Samajwadi Party, got 3.4% vote, but we got less seats.
But then it was your choice to form an alliance. It was your choice to form an alliance, a pre-poll alliance.
Yes,
it was your choice to form an alliance, a pre-poll alliance. You did not do that. Meghnad Desai, is this argument correct?
No,
one minute. Gaurav, I'm getting Meghnad Desai into this.
Just make my point.
One minute.
Make my point and you can get on Meghnad Desai. I am just saying that every party has the right to make choices, and if we want to ally with the party in the future,
you made your choice.
No, I'm saying
you made your choice before the election.
You are saying it is opportunistic politics.
But you made your choice before the election and you failed.
Congress and SP and all the people who call themselves secular have to realize one thing, that secularism, what they call it, has not helped the minority community to advance socially and economically. The minority community has decided that they no longer want to live in fear. They want aspiration, they want education, they want jobs. And to go on about secularism, which is a fear psychosis, is not going to help anymore. If you're going to be secularist, think of a real positive argument for secularism and not just say, if you don't listen to all the BJP, people will come and eat you up. Well, people have rejected that argument. You will reject secularism, rethink secularism, or you will all perish.
I think people have...
What is important here? I think
Shadri Chari is also responding to Gaurav Bhatia.
I think let Mr. Gaurav Bhatia try to understand one thing. Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, there is a serious question that I want you to really ponder over. I mean, you are not an ordinary person. You are an intellectual in your party. You are an intellectual who understands the nuances of politics very well and also social issues. But you tell me one thing. In this entire election, was secularism versus communalism an issue? Did Muslims in this country vote for this? Did the Christians in Goa vote for BJP? 8 of the MLAs of the Christians have been elected. on BJP ticket, did they think in terms of Christian voting and Hindu voting and Muslim voting and secular voting and communal voting? No. I think that the whole entire social situation has changed. People want an economic progress. People are comparing themselves to so many other countries.
Chari,
I think this is an opportunity for, this is an opportunity. Remember Gaurav Bhatia, when Congress was defeated in UP and your party was given a clear mandate. The mandate was for Akhilesh Yadav, who represented change. He represented change. He did not represent secularism. You sought vote on the basis of development.
I would just comment.
Arnab, can
Mr.
I say
Chari, now
something?
can
I can't understand why BJP is getting so worried about whatever front is
Mr. Chari,
being
please
formed.
understand.
You have the numbers in parliament. You're fairly secure. So why are you getting so upset about it?
No, I think the BJP...
Gaurav, just let him finish.
Can I speak, Arnab?
Yes, let Gaurav finish his point and then we'll come back to the studio debate. Yeah. Yes, Gaurav.
Mr. Chari, for the Samajwadi Party also, we have many agendas of growth and development, and they are not confined to the minority community. And when we talk about the minority community, it is based on a positive proposition of inclusive growth for the minorities. It is not based on playing on the fears of the minority, and this distinction has to be drawn. Please understand.
The
and secondly, when you say for the state of
or
UP,
misrepresent the public
I don't know why
opinion,
people
misrepresent
barge
the
in when I'm
mandate.
speaking.
I think the
can people not wait
vote
for their turn?
BJP in this election
Can people not
was
wait
a vote
for their
for the
turn?
development
Mr.
which Mr.
Narasimhan
Modi
Rao,
had delivered in
learn the
Gujarat
basic
and promised the rest of the
of not
country.
speaking
It's
in
a positive
between.
vote.
I think the least I can expect as a panelist is that you can wait for your turn.
This as a front for secularism to protect some community from something. I think it suits the BJP very fine. But I can promise you from day one, Mr. Modi's focus will be on development. You continue to indulge in this kind of you have this energy.
Why are you feeling threatened?
Absolutely not.
Are you feeling threatened?
Absolutely.
Are you sure? One second. Are you sure? Gaurav Bhatia, just a minute. My question. 1 second. Gaurav, 1 second. I sense from the reaction of the BJP representatives on the Newshour tonight.
No, absolutely nothing.
Arnab, 1 minute.
I sense from the response of the BJP representatives. No. On the Newshour tonight. Let me complete.
Let me tell you.
Let me complete, sir. What's a Jayanti Natarajan? I want Jayanti Natarajan and I'll come back to you. Jayanti Natarajan was raising a hand.
Arnab, I just need my 15 seconds.
Okay, 15 seconds.
You know, I think, this way of interrupting in between when a panelist is speaking is deplorable, and Mr. Narasimhan Rao should wait for his turn before a panelist has made his point. Every time that I start speaking,
let him complete. Let him complete.
This is unfortunate.
He says the same thing.
Yes. This is unfortunate.
He says the same thing.
Okay, so I take your point. Now the question is the BJP feeling threatened? And Aarti Jarat says, why should the BJP feel threatened?
Absolutely.
Jayanti Natarajan, I saw you raise your hand there. At least take a position today. Today, Mr. Chari told you, do not get swayed by these parties. The BJP surprisingly is saying, we want you on our side. We want you in governance. We want you in the development path. We want you in progress. Are you willing to be drawn towards the BJP, Jayanti Natarajan, if they throw the progress card at you? It almost appears to me today that if you resist, then Mr. Chari will turn around and say you are against progress, because the argument that he used there is that of progress. He said the one secular cause, the true secular cause we want the Congress to be with us in is progress. I want you to respond to Mr. Chari before I move on. Jayanti Natarajan.
Arnab, I want to once again issue my caveat that the stock taking is yet to be done by the Congress Working Committee.
Take your point.
And I'm speaking here on the issue that you've raised. No stand has been taken on by the party officially. Now, to answer your question, Mr. Chari has framed it very attractively. Lord Desai less so. Now, my point is very simple. I want to make two issues. One is, straight away, please let's not bury and dismiss the issue of secularism as if the election, because the very people who are saying, who have won the election and who are saying that, this election was not fought on secularism, to which I agree, are also trying to say that it's no longer important. I believe that this is a completely wrong approach to what has happened and to the mind of the voter, the people, the aspirations of the people in the country. What I think has happened is that it's not just a question of a communal divide or secularism, but prosperity, aspiration, development, which is what the people want. And Mr. Modi was able to tell them that he could deliver it to them better than anybody else. The Congress has always stood for this. It is not secularism versus development, but secularism and development. And yes, the Muslims have, the minorities have not done as well as they should have. Let's not forget the Sachar committee. Let's not forget how much was done. So the way Lord Desai is trying to frame this issue is completely unacceptable.
The Congress party
completely
would be
unacceptable.
Let Mr. Chari take
completely unacceptable.
Jayanti, I really appreciate the way you have built up your argument.
No, one sec. Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, this point was made to Seshadri Chari, and I think he would like to respond to it. And we'll take the discussion forward. Welcome to the debate, Pawan Verma. The argument against the JDU is that you're also today reaching out to all parties out of a sense of political desperation. But right now, before I draw you in on that, Seshadri Chari responding to a rather terse response, if I may say so, from Jayanti.
No, it's not the question of terse. The issue is, Jayanti, you should try to understand. What I'm trying to say is, a victory for progress or development, it should not be seen as a defeat for quote-unquote secularism, which you are painting as a different issue. I mean, the jury is out. The Constitution does not define the word secularism. And it was added into the preamble of the Constitution in 1975, not in 1951.
I'm only worried about one thing. I'm only worried about...
Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, let Jayanti respond. I'm going to come back to you.
I'm going to say it very briefly. I'm
just
only worried, Mr. Bhatia, about one thing. That is a view of you. Look, you know Tamil Nadu as well as I do. I am only worried about this view of homogeneity. That's why I don't want the issue of secularism, of diversity, to be buried in this argument. Everybody knows that development is the most important thing that the country needs today. But I come from a faraway state, and there is a certain fear of a homogeneity that may be imposed by the BJP. That is what I'm talking about when I say that let's not lose sight of other issues. Of course, development is the most important issue.
I will email a letter written by Narendra Modi to all BJP workers on May 12th, the last day of the election campaign. He wrote to all our workers, specifically saying that this is a diverse country, and the diversity of this country I have experienced when I was working for the organization. And now today, during this campaign, I realized the importance of the diversity of this country. And if you cannot take him on his words, I think you will have to wait till he performs. And if you really come across some issue, nobody can prevent either the Congress or the JDU to jump into the fray.
Yeah, Pawan Verma, yes please. Mr. Verma, no what's it? Pawan Verma now to Seshadri Chari. Yes, Mr. Verma. Gaurav Bhatia, I'm going to come back to you. Pawan Verma has been waiting. Yes, please. Here is an argument. Modi is being misinterpreted. Don't judge him before his prime ministerial term ends, and don't build the secular bogey, says the BJP, in order to save your political turf. I'm only encapsulating what the BJP says. I may not necessarily agree with what they say. In fact, I don't. Yes, please, Pawan Verma.
Maybe Pawan Verma agrees with us.
I have 3 points only. First of all, the BJP will also accept that we are a democracy and there can be different opinions on different subjects. That's the right the BJP will give to everyone who participates in this democracy. Secondly, progress and development are not monoliths. They are not one shoe fits all. There can be different views on what constitutes progress and what direction development should take. We can agree to disagree, but there can always be a civilized dialogue on that. Thirdly, please jettison from our collective vocabulary that much abused word called secularism. But Arrah, please concede, and I'm sure the BJP will also, that in a country of our diversities and the number of faiths, respect for all faiths is a principle that we must all be vigilant about and forever contest its erosion.
Is
So
that why Lalu and is that the reason why Lalu and Nitish are together today? Is that the reason why the two parties are together today? And how is that realization coming after the election drubbing?
Let me answer you, Arnab. First of all, I think it's putting the horse before the cart to say that we are already together. But let me say to you frankly, in analyzing this remarkable victory of the BJP, those parties which have been opposed to the BJP need to also introspect, to think, to analyze the causes of their defeat and to see what can be done in order to strengthen democracy by providing an alternative point of view.
You can't say this, Pawan. You are a diplomat.
Make a quick point.
Your party president, what your party president has said today, what Mr. Sharad Yadav has said today, after spending large part of his life as the chairman of the NDA.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
He was the convener of the NDA.
What did he say?
Today he says
what
that
did he say which is
No,
if I can
Ajay Bose.
Yeah,
Ajay Bose.
no, if I make a quick point.
To whom?
Yeah, I'm making a point generally
General point.
that this whole secular slogan is exactly the anti-dynasty slogan which used to be earlier used against the Congress. This secular slogan becomes a convenient cover for people who are looking for getting together to face the BJP. So please make no mistake that political parties in Bihar, for instance, are trying to get together to have a common front, and they want to fight the BJP, which is the new gorilla in the room, which is threatening them.
But they won't admit so. Would it
they
be
want
better
to
if
give
they
it a
admitted
cover.
so?
They want to give it a cover of secular because the BJP's image has been that it is anti-minority and therefore they are using it. Now
Exactly.
this is the point.
Ajay, this is exactly the point that I am trying to make.
Yeah.
Why do you want to equate the word secularism with minority? Ajay, I am as a Hindu. Don't you think I am secular? Please.
No, absolutely.
I am as secular as Sharad Yadav or as secular as Nitish Kumar himself is.
You know, Arnab,
So for God's sake, don't take this charge in that way.
Allow
But
me to
I think
answer.
that you are very worried that in Bihar, if the RJD, the JDU and the Congress come together, there is a formidable arithmetic on the ground.
Absolutely.
Which
That's what is
could
happening.
defeat, but certainly pose a very serious challenge to the BJP in Bihar. And remember, this time in a state assembly election, you don't have the Modi, the Modi figure to lead you. You will have a state leader.
I agree. I fully agree.
I think that you're worried about
Arti,
it.
no,
I think
I
that
agree.
You're very worried about it.
No.
Can I come in and
Arti,
respond?
I
By
agree.
next state election, by next
When we broke up with BJP, when we broke up with JDU,
state elections
when
are
we
due
broke up
in
with the
Bihar.
JDU, the same argument was made. What will BJP be able to do on its own? And we have shown what we can do. More than 40% vote in
other side
Bihar.
was divided.
More than 40% vote.
The other
Mr.
side was
Rao,
divided.
You are a cephalogist. You do number crunching.
40%.
The other side was divided.
We have got more than 40%. No, I'm telling her. See, the same arguments were made when we were breaking up when JDU was breaking up with the BJP. What can BJP do on its own in Bihar? We were only piggy riding on the back of Nitish Kumar, and the results prove otherwise. We have secured more than 40% vote. Tell me in which part of the country, in which state, any party has come to power.
You
come on.
40%
is...
wave.
We
In an
applaud you
assembly
for your
election,
victory.
the issue becomes completely different.
Hang on.
Hang on.
I'm coming to the arithmetic of it. I'm coming to the sheer arithmetic of it.
Sir, please
Just
don't have
because
a dialogue
Congress,
between just two
which has
people.
X number of votes, JDU plus Lalu Prasad Yadav, they come together. Just because they come together, you think that arithmetic is also going to come together?
Certainly.
It will not.
And I don't think
Wait,
you can
wait. I'm going.
Remember, Lalu and Nitish were together once.
I'm going
They
to
were
that.
together once. They were in the same Janata Dal together. They have no principal ideological differences and none whatsoever. And the Congress is now reduced to such an insignificant force that whatever they have...
What is the point? What is the point you're making to Mr. Chari?
I'm saying is that this is workable on the ground in state politics. It poses a major threat, and that is what is happening. Listen, in Parliament for 5 years, Mr. Modi has got a clear majority. There is no threat to him. So there is very little chance of doing anything at the parliamentary level. However, India is also a federal state. You have to pass everything through the states. There is an active, virile politics, robust politics going on in each state, each assembly election. And remember also that the BJP is not in power in an overwhelming majority of states.
What the BJP is saying today, is that the election is over. No, what they are saying today is, they are saying today to you, Pawan Verma, Jayanti Natarajan and Gaurav Bhatia, let's get them back to the debate just because they are not in the studio. Let's not exclude them. No, what they are saying to you...
One point I want to add, the presence of Lalu in that alliance is good enough to hand the victory to us. I'm telling you, Lalu itself is so much disliked by the people of Bihar.
Let's not be presumptuous.
No, not presumptuous. That's the reality.
No, that is not the point. I'm not going into who is going to be liked and who is not going to be liked. The issue is,
Sir, can I respond to Mr. Chari? I'm just returning from Bihar today.
Tell me, please.
Can I respond to you, sir?
Mr. Pawan Verma, 1 minute, I'm going to a break. Pawan Verma.
So, first of all, I entirely agree with you that merely touting the secularism formula without linking it to good governance, development and progress is to debase the meaning of secularism.
True.
Secondly, let me say to you, when a leader in Bihar of the BJP like Mr. Giriraj Singh makes a statement which is patently obnoxious and painful, should we, in the name of progress and development, put a zip on our mouth and not comment? And if we do, there are spokesmen of the BJP who says, "Phir se wahi ghisi-piti baatein kar rahe ho." Sir, these statements touch raw nerves in people. We have been a civilization, and you in the BJP should know this more than anyone else, which has taken people along. So don't be oversensitive on this issue, and don't try to brush in everything under the carpet of development. Let there be a vibrant debate in this country.
The debate continues in 3 minutes. The debate continues in 3 minutes. Just one point before I go into the debate. No, before I go into the break. Gaurav, I'm coming back and I'll come back straight to you and Jayanti Natarajan and Meghnad Desai because I want to include you more into the debate. The point is that Mulayam was among the leaders who started that secular front movement. On the 30th of October, he had a meeting. All parties, CPI, CPM, RSP, Forward Bloc, Samajwadi Party, JDU, AGP, ADMK and JVK were together. Together, these parties in this election got 55 seats. I take away the 37 of the AIDMK and you're left with 18 seats. And today, Modi spoke to Jayalalitha. Therefore, the rest of the parties which met for a secular front got only 18 seats. The BJP says today, this is proof that the secular argument is a bogey and must not be raised. When I come back, I'll ask Jayanti Natarajan, Gaurav Bhatia and Meghnad Desai whether they agree with the mathematics which backs the logic put by the BJP. I'm back in a couple of minutes. Welcome back to our Super Primetime Sunday debate. I promised to go to Jayanti Natarajan because we've got 10 more minutes with her on this part of the debate. Jayanti Natarajan, you know, I know these numbers are harsh, but they tell a story. Congress gets 44. All these parties of the secular front, if I take Jayalalitha out, would have 17. So, ideally in today's parliament, Congress plus secular front, 44 plus 17 is 61 seats, right? Now, Meghnad Desai says that in such a situation, the Congress must reconcile itself to the fact that it is going to face extinction. Now, that's again, I'm kept adding a caveat, like you like to do as a lawyer. These are Meghnad Desai's words, not mine. Meghnad Desai would like to say them to you, and then I want your response on them. Meghnad Desai.
Before the election, the argument was exit polls are wrong, they were wrong before, but they will be right again. Now the argument is we were down in 1984, BJP was down, came back, we will come back.
Yeah.
It is quite likely that with 44 seats and only Assam and Kerala left in the Congress bag, Congress
and
could
both are
seriously, Congress could seriously disappear as a party.
Congress could disappear as a party.
This happened to the Liberal Party in England after winning 2 landslide elections in 1905. It never got re-elected in the 20th century. And even now, it's just a fractional party. So Congress has to really find itself a positive, non-dynastic philosophy to be able to survive. If it doesn't, goodbye.
If it doesn't, goodbye, Jayanti Natarajan.
A lot of my friends are in the Congress party, so it grieves me to say this.
Grieves him to say this, but the party faces extinction, says Meghnad Desai. Jayanti Natarajan.
Actually, Arnab, most of what Lord Desai said I could not hear very well, which is probably a good thing for my remaining calm in the debate. But I think his dislike for the party overcomes the logic of his argument. Merely because we've got 44 seats in this election doesn't mean you can write the party off. The fact remains we've got an absolutely all-time low percentage of votes, particularly in my state, including and particularly in my state. But that doesn't mean we should pack our bags and leave. That's not the Congress DNA. And no matter what people like Lord Desai and others, even the BJP doesn't wish that. I don't think. I think the country needs a strong opposition. We will provide a strong opposition. And let me give me the time. I've remained silent throughout most of the debate. Please give me the time. And let me tell you, Arnab, categorically, I'm sick and tired, and please permit me to use these personal words, of these pious denunciations of dynasty that other panelists have made, particularly what Lord Desai said just now. Let me complete, please let me complete. We have lost, and therefore everybody wants to talk down to us and be sanctimonious. Let me tell you something about any political party's DNA. Nobody remains a leader unless the people of that party wants to keep them there. And we want
What about the people of the country? Don't they matter, Mr. Natarajan?
Wait a minute. No, wait a minute.
What about the party's accountability to the people of the country?
No, Arnab, wait a minute. Let me complete what I'm saying. We do have an accountability to the people of the country. We do have an accountability to ourselves. We are not here to get defeated. We are here to get elected. And it's not a charitable organization. Parties will only retain people who are winners. And it is the choice
Rahul Gandhi a winner? Is Rahul Gandhi a winner?
Is
Rahul Gandhi a winner?
Arnab, clearly, obviously, in this election, he has not won. That doesn't mean you write a person off forever. You cannot.
So then how does it work with your own self-professed philosophy? That you only retain winners?
I think it's being reverse snobbery. All the time people point out to this one issue of dynasty, to this one issue of Rahul Gandhi, a host of other issues that the party has faced, a host of other issues that we need to confront. I think it's utterly unfair.
Your defense of dynasty may not go down well. Your defense of dynasty may not go down well nationally. Seshadri Chari and Vivi Narasimha. Both want to respond to you now. I can see. Yes,
no, let me tell you one more thing. If it's not a question of defense of dynasty, tell me how many people in the BJP, isn't the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, isn't her son a member of Parliament? How many people in the BJP have relatives who've been elected to Parliament?
Listen. Dynasty, let me tell you, Jayanti Natarajan, you have brought a very good point. I'm not talking about dynasty. It was Mr. Lord Desai who brought it up, and he can back it up very well.
No, Mr.
The issue is not that.
You've always raised very logical issues. You've always raised very logical issues, and I will answer you directly. I was merely answering Lord Desai because it's a very I'm sorry to sound like this.
I'm only saying two things.
We are accountable to ourselves.
No, you are also accountable to the people. No, you are not accountable only to yourself. When you fight an election, you don't fight an election among congressmen alone. 1 second.
We do not, Arnab, if we took the gratuitous advice of those who hate the Congress and who are absolutely nasty about the Congress at every level, we would be shooting ourselves in the head. So we are perfectly
you are now,
capable of sorting out our own
we have no intention of hitting you. I mean, it's not my issue. I'm only trying to say that the Congress party should at least once the Congress party should think, since 1984, why nobody from the Nehru-Gandhi Parivar has ever been able to come up, and two of the best prime ministers, I'm not making a political statement, but two good prime ministers, Mr. P.V. Narasimha Rao and Mr. Manmohan Singh, who continued for 10 years, were not from the dynasty. When we say this, we are not saying it. It is the people of this country who are saying this. And I think Congress party should take a serious call on this issue.
I agree with you.
What you do with the dynasty within your party is your headache. It is not my headache.
She says, what about Lal Bahadur Shastri when he was also not from the dynasty? Responses. Meghnad Desai wants to respond.
I want to just...
Meghnad Desai first. Meghnad Desai.
The Congress party
I want to
changed.
make an important point, Arnab, and
Yeah,
my point is
can I say something?
that Mrs. Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi have always stepped away from power. They've never asked for power. They're in the past.
Please, don't give this.
I can't take this argument. Don't bring in this argument.
Later, first.
They were part and parcel of the political system.
Meghnad Desai, one more minute, Mr.
In 1969, the old Congress died and a new personal Indira Gandhi Congress was born. Congress has been dynastic since then. And although there are non-dynastic prime ministers, it's purely because the dynastic heir had not grown up.
It was even called Congress I.
No,
of course,
I want to make...
and so Congress has become a
then Congress R and then
I want Congress to survive. I have a lot of friends in the Congress. So I'm saying Congress has to find
She's talking to you. She's saying something to you.
Lord Desai may be obsessed with the death of the Congress, but we are not going to oblige him anytime soon. We still exist all over the country in some form or the other. And honestly,
I really like the defense of Rahul Gandhi by the Congress party.
Why?
And we'll be happy if he continues in whatever role he is continuing in the Congress party. I think Congress has to choose who its leader is, and Rahul Gandhi has proved to be a non-leader as far as we are concerned.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, I think the Congress has revived in the past only when the government of the day either was not strong or did not have a leader like Mr. Modi. Let me make it clear, Mr. Modi does not make political mistakes. And that's a scare. That's a scare. Come on, 12 years.
This is that he never makes mistakes.
He will tire the Congress out. He will tire the Congress out.
But that we have to wait and see. But is Mr. Modi a human being or something else?
He has not.
Some sort of God.
I
mean, you talk about personality.
Look at his performance.
You used to mock the Congress for personality.
I'll put it the other way.
You're heading that
Look
way
at his
record.
Gentlemen, I have some breaking news. I have to let Jayanti Natarajan go. Gaurav Bhatia, stay on. Gaurav Bhatia, I'm coming back to you in a minute, and Salman Soz. This debate continues. Gaurav, okay, Gaurav. Gaurav wants to come in. Yes, Gaurav. Yes, Gaurav Bhatia.
Arnab, I would only request you to give it a thought. When the SP does not come on your program, you say we are in our shell and we are trying to run away. I don't think this debate has been conducted in a fair manner. You should try to give some time to other participants also. We have been waiting patiently to make our point. I heard Mr. Chari say a few things about communal and secular politics. I would like to just correct him on 2 points. First of all, when the BJP was contesting, especially in the state of UP, I can surely say that the agenda of the BJP was not only development, it was very communal. There were communal statements made by their leaders, and so they at least can't say that the agenda for the elections was development. Second, he said that the word secularism is not defined in the constitution. Let me as a lawyer also reiterate, when something is not specified, the judgments of the Supreme Court give clarity to that word. And in Kaushlendra Bharti, which has been a 13-judge bench verdict, it has been clearly said that secularism is the basic structure of the constitution. Now, Mr. Narasimhan Rao III said that if BJP has gone out of power only when there hasn't been strong leaders. Now, was Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee not a strong leader that they went out of power in 2004? Or did he make too many mistakes? So I think he needs to also
to other
look back
leaders and you know about it.
in the right perspective.
I was referring to the other parties and you very well know.
Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, since you mentioned.
Now,
Gaurav is responding to Chari is responding to you.
Listen to me.
No, he's responding to you, so you should listen to him. One second.
minute, Gaurav. Yeah. You have very rightly pointed out two things.
Yeah.
One is, if the Supreme Court has said something on secularism, they have also said on Hindutva as being the way of life and not a religion. So let us not get into all these semantics.
They have not said that that is the basic structure of the constitution.
And socialism were introduced in 1975 into the preamble of the constitution. Today we are secular by behavior and we are not socialist in even in our economic terminology.
Gentlemen,
it was the Congress party, Mr. P.V. Narasimha Rao and his finance minister, Mr. Manmohan Singh at that time, who dismantled the secular the socialist fabric of the economy of this country. Anyway, less said the better about that. But as far as 2004 election is concerned, I appreciate your appreciation for Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, but you, along with the Congress, have ridiculed us for the last 10 years on the issue of, not on the issue of BJP losing because of communal secular divide, but the BJP losing because of India shining. We took up that issue of development, economic development, justice for all. Again in 2014, what we left in 2004, we took up in 2014, and people have given us a resounding
power when
success.
The BJP leadership is.
I just want to, gentlemen, I want to come into this debate because I have some breaking news. The DMK has issued a statement on the attack on the Times Now reporter and camera person earlier today, and it regrets the attack on the media. I'm going to read this out. It says, we regret, and those pictures will be behind you as well. We regret the attacks on our journalist friends. First of all, we are not their friends. That took place when they were covering the news regarding Stalin's resignation. I would call it Stalin's resignation drama. The DMK cadre entered into an argument with some reporters. Well, if the DMK and Mr. Stalin is under the belief that thrashing people up, kicking reporters and journalists on the job is called an argument, then I think they're a very physically violent party. The DMK cadre entered into an argument with some reporters thinking that the reportage on the issue was incorrect. Well, in their view was completely incorrect. Some bad elements appear to have taken advantage of this. Mr. Stalin, these are members of your party, not just bad elements, and attacked our media friends. Again, we are not your friends. In any case, we condemn and regret the attack on our journalist friend. Mr. Stalin, let me say one thing to you. This statement of yours, this statement which has been given out by Mr. Elangovan is a sad statement. It is an incomplete statement. It is an expression of regret. Mr. Stalin, if you have any conscience left today, come out and apologize. We will throw this kind of a regret straight into the waste paper basket of our news desk. If you have the courage, come out and apologize. Don't do this drama and then follow up the drama with an expression of regret. A statement like this is worse than no statement at all. Mr. Stalin, you did the drama. Your people thrashed up my camera person, and you ought to come and apologize, not give a half-hearted comment of this kind. Anyway, we are moving on into the debate. On the debate tonight, the BJP questions the political legitimacy of a realignment after the kind of verdict it has got. Salman Soz, I'd like to welcome back to the debate. Rahul Narvekar of the NCP, he fought hard, he's lost the election, but he did fight his first election. And from the NCP, and of course, Gaurav Bhatia stays on. You know, Salman Soz, today the BJP questions the political legitimacy of a realignment, and the basic argument which they say you are doing it, but the basic argument they say is the argument of vote share. They say you have a splinter demure?
Arnab, no.
Rahul Narvekar, will you be demure too?
Let's be.
Rahul Narvekar, let's get everyone in. What they are saying is that you tried this, raise the issue of communalism and you failed. And they argue, several BJP leaders have been arguing that, for example, Nitish and Lalu, in their respective campaigns, basically argued on the line and tried to appropriate the argument of the BJP being secular. They say we got 22, you got 6 between the two of you, drop that argument and move on. That's the basic argument the BJP puts on to you today. Mr. Narvekar, you agree after your own experience in the elections?
First and foremost, I have been listening to this debate for quite long. Let me tell you, it would be rather courageous to write the political obituary of any political party based on the results of a particular election. Let me remind you the history of this country. In 1977, Srimati Indira Gandhi had lost the election, Congress had fared miserably, and you know what happened in 1980. So let's not make such bold and courageous statements when history has proved otherwise. So let's
Rahul, one minute. Rahul Narvekar, I want to draw into this one thing. Nobody is discussing the issue of writing the obituary of any political party. Form is the question.
Absolutely.
My question to you, Mr. Chari, is until 1990, the Shiv Sena and Bharatiya Janata Party used to fight separately in the state of Maharashtra. So in 1990, when they realized that they could
I don't think Mr. Soos will pardon me if I say this. We are surely forming a government.
Of course.
In a day or two. So Mr. Soos said if they form the government and all that, that fear should not be there in his mind.
What Mr. Soos?
No, I did not say that. Please,
So
Mr.
that's
Chari,
okay.
I'm not saying that.
So what I'm
Chari,
trying to say is,
that's not what I'm saying, Mr.
the
Chari.
political rhetorics apart, now the JDU and Lalu Prasad Yadav want to come together on the lines of secular versus communal. They think there is a huge threat to the secular fabric of this country. And if
Do they
that
have
is
no right to think so?
They have every right to think so. Every right to think
So
so.
have they lost that
but
right
the question
because of the
is,
mandate?
but the question is,
But sir, listen, there is a problem.
Are we going to link it to the
Arnab,
political
if you
process
can allow me and then I have
and
to
go
leave,
back to the
please.
days? Is the Congress?
No, but all
Aam
these
Aadmi
things are part of the
Party-
political
No,
process.
the question is the Congress, Aam
Kamal
Aadmi
Mitra
Party, NCP, Lalu Prasad, Nitish Kumar, now, if they want to realign, they are free to realign. But
That we don't need anyone to
our
say.
issue is,
Kamal Mitra
our issue is,
No, the only
our
thing-
issue is, don't use the secular communal divide as the platform.
We are not
to
doing
attack.
it.
Because
the
it won't
example
work.
I
But
gave,
Dr. Chetty,
the example I gave about Varanasi was countering that.
Exactly,
That,
good.
that the people who
that
supported
means
Modi and we
Aam
were all
Aadmi Party
together.
is not part of the
Therefore,
secular brigade.
So we
for
should
instance-
not. We should use language that helps a realignment
I
in
agree.
terms of
Why should we help
development and all of
realignment?
that.
I think
So
that's-
why
that's
lose
something-
one's temper?
Why should we help you to realign? It's your right.
Just
and
a
you
I'm
can
not
do
asking
it.
for your help.
Just a minute. The point, one point I want to
Mr.
make.
Nassima,
is
I'm not
that-
asking for
Mr.
your
Nassima,
help.
one
This is
minute.
an inevitable process that churning and all will go on in politics.
Nobody can prevent
No,
you.
we are not
Arti
saying.
and Meghnad Desai,
We are not questioning. We are
No,
not
one-
questioning the realignment.
one point
We
I
are
want to
questioning
make.
the basis of realignment.
Ours is not that big.
Just a minute, one at a time. Arti Jairat.
Mr. Chari, you were trying to spook the Congress into not joining this realignment because you were trying to tell the Congress that do you not stand for progress? Do you not want to support us on issues of development? That's what you were trying to do.
No, Aam Aadmi Party also. I'm asking you. I'm not saying let all those people who are opposed to BJP politically come together. But what is the platform on which are you
That
going
is not
to
going to
stand?
happen.
Is
You know
it
that.
secularism?
Whether
Don't
you have
stand
right
on the
agenda.
secular versus communal platform.
Only one point I want to add.
Meghnad Desai, please.
There is
Meghnad
no
Desai.
question of a platform having only one issue.
Can I say
That is not going to happen.
Exactly.
The election-
Meghnad Desai, one at a time.
The election is not yet over. People are still very febrile mode. And I must say, given my experience in British politics, I find Indian politicians very thin-skinned. They even some little he said will beat you. He said, "Oh, how can you use that language?" What is going on? Politics has to be robust. Let people have different. And I think, Mr. Chari, people can combine on whatever they want to combine. Secular, communal, communist, socialist. Let them do what they do. You relax. You have one.
Yes.
Just say you have one. Relax.
Lord.
Let 1,000 flowers bloom.
Lord Desai, the question is not that. The question is, it's a question of development, it's a question of progress in this country. For once, let us deviate from that path. We have
Mr.
no
Chari,
disagreement with Aam Aadmi
Manchar,
Party
you
if they want to
monopolize
cut this.
development.
I wonder why an economic argument of progress is being mixed up with a non-economic argument which they are using of secularism and communism. Why are you mixing up the two?
What I find very disturbing in underlying all this is that do not have political competition. Very soon it will say, don't write stories against the government because it will disturb the whole progress and development. There will be healthy competition between political parties. For God's sake, this is a democracy. We have not suspended. Mr. Modi may have won a great mandate, but political parties will get together and make life difficult for him politically. That is their birthright as independent.
I'd like to take a short break. Just a minute, one at a time, please. Yeah,
I'm not going to buy this trying to brush everything under the carpet of development that you will have this great glorious era when Mr. Modi, the invincible,
No, we are not saying that.
One at a time, please.
No, we are. Ajay, I'm not saying that. I totally agree with you. I'm only saying I am only telling the Aam Aadmi Party, I am telling the Congress, I am telling all other parties, are you going to be drawn into this Nitish plus Lalu Yadav's category, or you are going to really remain out?
At this stage of the debate, at this stage of the debate, 1 second, and a sense of order please into the Newshour studio.
No, I'm not saying that. That's what it amounts
at
to.
this stage,
go ahead and realign.
It's anti-progress.
You are free to realign. You are free to realign. You are free to stand on any platform.
Yeah.
But I am only saying, come ahead, wait for some time. When you
Salman
are going to realign, you think about your platform.
Salman Soz will respond one at a time, gentlemen. Salman Soz and Gaurav Bhatia are still in the debate. And at this stage of the debate, I raise a question. Rahul Nardekar, just a minute. I raise a question. If the numbers don't add up, if the vote shares don't add up, if the parties are irrelevant, then let them get together. They should still not matter to the BJP.
Exactly.
Why is the BJP reacting at all to this situation? 1 second. Salman Soz and Gaurav Bhatia will come in, and then I'm going to a break. Yes, please.
Well, first of all, Mr. Chari, I did not say if the BJP will form the government.
Mr. Salman Soz
the government. The BJP is going to form the government. Please relax. We congratulate you. You've had a great victory. Now stop being I think you're being paranoid. There are small parties who have been defeated, and they're trying to figure out a strategy to kind of reinvent themselves, whatever way they feel good. So let them do what they want. You can compete with them electorally.
Okay.
So you have a victory, and you have
still
your
opening up.
Now, let me move to the next part. The next part is, Mr. Chari, that when we talk about development, there can be legitimate differences between the BJP and the Congress, because we believe that we have a different model of development, and you have a different model of development. But to the extent that ideas in Parliament meet, we want progress for this country, and we love this country, and we want this country to move forward. And wherever you take this country, wherever your government takes this country, and we feel that that is the right way, we'll support the government, we support the country.
Gaurav, very briefly, because I know you have to go on the other side.
Arnab, can I just make my closing remarks? Now, I would just want to say that Mr. Chari as well as Mr. Narasimhan Rao are saying what is the political legitimacy of various parties now coming together. I would ask him before the polls, what was the political legitimacy or the ideology that brought Lok Jan Shakti Party towards the BJP, or for that matter the TDP also. So please, I think they should stop questioning all this. And Mr. Narasimhan Rao was talking about the irrelevancy of Samajwadi Party. Let me tell him that even in this election we got 22% vote in the state of UP, which is more than what BJP could get in the last 3 assembly elections in the state of UP. And thirdly, I would also like to answer your question, Arnab. You said that the federal front that came together only could muster 55 seats. Let me also tell you that if you add the percentage vote of these parties, it comes to a credible 19%, and we are working on a federal front. I am sure that secularism and development are not mutually exclusive. If we can give a better development model than the BJP, and if we can also be secular, people will vote for us in greater numbers, and probably
we will go into the break straight.
It's not mutually exclusive, Arnab, and therefore please understand, when we talk about secularism, it's not that we are saying we would not have our own development model.
We have 5 minutes left in the debate, and at this stage of the debate, just a quick observation. Yesterday, Mr. Narendra Modi taunted the opposition, saying there was a time when you needed coalition.
Mr. Chari, thank you for your suggestion. But the Congress has deeper issues to think about right now than to join one front or the other right away. We've faced major electoral reverses, and we must
that be careful, don't slip back into the secular versus communal divide.
You repeatedly make the point and you assumed. No, 1 minute, just 1 minute. I'm giving time to Kamal Mitra Chenoy before I wrap up, so everyone gets their turn. Mr. Chenoy, Seshadri Chari said thank you to you as well for not falling into the secular trap. These were the words that he used. Are you responding affirmatively to what he said? Or would you like to contradict him on this one?
I don't think there is any secular trap. If it was, it wouldn't be there in the Constitution, it would not be passed by a 13-member Supreme Court bench. But I think there is a developmental challenge. There is not just one path of development. Even the BJP under the name of Jansangh had floated a somewhat different path. And the Congress also, through Manmohan Singh, actually took the BJP's clothes and brought that path. So I think the debate really should be that there should be, as far as possible, a non-ideological debate on development. And obviously the development would vary depending on these states. Development in a small state like Kerala would not be the development in a small state like Uttarakhand.
Agreed.
So I think on this we should all unite and agree to have a fruitful debate so we could push our country forward.
I think
very, very well put.
I think on one thing we agree. You know, let there be a separation of the issues which concern secularism from the issues of development. I think that healthy separation is required because nobody can build an argument that we are developing you, so don't push the arguments against communalism. I think these two issues are separate. At least on that we have a consensus.
It's a mandate. It's a constitutional mandate, and it will be followed scrupulously. And Mr. Modi had repeatedly said,
Mr. Rao, scrutiny both by the opposition and by the media and everyone will continue.
Absolutely.
Even if you got 543 out of 543 seats,
we hope they do it, and it is all the more necessary now because there is no strong.
Well, absolutely.
And Mr. Modi, let me tell you, he's a consummate politician that he is. He needs a strong rival. Let them engage in this grouping. Let them engage in a verbal duel. We look forward to it.
Everyone also
you are the bigger party. You should take the lead and show the way.
I'm wrapping up today. I thank you very much for taking part in this long debate, but interesting debate on the Newshour tonight. Thank you.